Yo, yo, yo. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna do this, delete the other one. Let's see here. See if the chat works. Alright, cool. It seems to be working. Yo, what's good, you guys? Welcome back. Good evening, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well, whoever shows up in the stream. Okay, cool. It looks like we're live. Hell yeah. What's good, one viewer? Salute, good evening. Let me see here. Some kind of interesting stuff I came across. I don't know if anybody's still interested in all this or whatever, but got a couple interesting videos that I found about Gematria. This first one, I want to share these, like, just because, you know, just because it's a little different from what you guys are used to hearing about the Gematria. So the first one is this little short clip on some channel called Original Gematria, and listen to what they say about Gematria. I thought this was really curious.
This video, you'll understand
this is not that
what we
old.
call Gematriah, the devil's math. The association of Hebrew letters with numerical values doesn't come from God, and it doesn't come from the Hebrews. It comes from Greece. In ancient times, the Greeks learned the Hebrew alphabet from Israel's neighbors, the Phoenicians, and they adopted it as their own. They turned the Hebrew aleph and bet into the Greek alpha and beta.
Show it.
At that time, Israel was a mighty nation with 12 tribes, but hundreds of years later, all that remained of Israel was the much smaller house of Judah, and Judah found themselves under Greek rule. They saw that the Greeks had added numbers to their alphabet and that they were using it for things like coded messages and poetry and magic. Jewish mystics called the system Gematriah, after the Greek word geometry. And to this day, Gematriah is used by even some Christian teachers to study the Bible. But the practice is not biblical. It's mysticism, and it's a tradition of men. The Bible actually prophesies that Gematriah will be in use at the end of days, but it won't be for any good purpose. And here is why we call it the devil's math. Revelation says, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast." That word understanding is actually just mind. And we learn from the scriptures that you can have the mind of Christ or a corrupt mind. The false prophet and his corrupt mind will indeed count the number of the beast's name using Gematriah. And he will use this number to place a mark on people who worship the devil. So if Gematriah isn't original to the Hebrew language, and it doesn't come from God, and it's destined to be a tool of the Antichrist, why would we study it? Here at Original Hebrew, we don't.
That was fucking
By the end
sick.
of this video, you'll understand why we call Gematriah the devil's math. The association of Hebrew letters with numerical values doesn't come from God, and it doesn't come from the Hebrews. It comes from Greeks. In ancient times, the Greeks learned the Hebrew alphabet from Israel's neighbors, the Phoenicians, and they adopted it as their own. They turned the Hebrew aleph and beta into the Greek alpha and beta. At that time, Israel was a mighty nation with 12 tribes, but hundreds of years later, all that remained of Israel was the much smaller house of Judah, and Judah found themselves under Greek rule. They saw that the Greeks had added numbers to their alphabet and that they were using it for things like coded messages and poetry and magic. Jewish mystics call the system Gematria, after the Greek word geometry, and to this day, Gematria is used by even some Christian teachers to study the Bible. But the practice is not biblical. It's mysticism, and it's a tradition of men. The Bible actually prophesies that Gematria will be in use at the end of days, but it won't be for any good purpose. And here's why we call it the devil's math. Revelation says, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast." That word understanding is actually just mind. And we learn from the scriptures that you can have the mind of Christ or a corrupt mind. The false prophet and his corrupt mind will indeed count the number of the beast's name using Gematria. And he will use this number to place a mark on people who worship the devil. So if Gematria isn't original to the Hebrew language, and it doesn't come from God, and it's destined to be a tool of the Antichrist, why would we study it? Here at Original Hebrew, we don't.
That was an interesting little video I found.
Oh, Reno. And at 100.5 K263.
It's kind of like a different take on from what you guys are used to hearing. All the Christians mostly think that they're supposed to do Gematria to find the mark of the beast and the number of the name or whatever. But I don't know. I think that's actually more accurate what that channel said. And then some other video. This is like a 3-part video. And I know this is like boring research or whatever. But I came across actually a video about Gematria from an actual like pretty legitimate source, I think. It's like it's a YouTube channel. It's called, let me see if I could find this. It's this video. It's from a YouTube channel called Toronto Thelema. And the video is titled Gematria and Hermetic Numerology. And it really busts this shit down. Like it tells you the truth about, like, do you guys know what Thelema is? Does anybody even know what Thelema even is? Basically, Thelema is pretty much like Aleister Crowley's religion that he made up. And a lot of it has to do with Gematria, I guess. But, like, what he was making up, pretty much. And this describes their Gematria, or this is a video about Gematria from Toronto Thelema YouTube channel. And it's only from 5 months ago. It has 34 likes. They didn't mention anything about, watch, we'll listen to it right now. This is where the quacks, or this is how the quacks are lying. This is where they got their Gematria from. Like, they literally said that they got Gematria from Aleister Crowley. But the thing is, when you look into the Aleister Crowley Gematria from the Thelema or whatever, it gets into it. And this video is like an educational documentary type video from the Church of Thelema in Toronto. And they actually they're talking about Gematria and Aleister Crowley Gematria. All right, here we go. Look, just so I could show you guys a little bit. It's a video. Without further ado, we'll just listen to this.
We look at the even our modern Arabic numeral system.
And these people know what they're talking about. This is the actual Aleister Crowley.
So it originated apparently in India, and had various forms of evolution, which found its way, from what I understand, through...
Hold on, let's run it back. I'll try to show you guys, and we'll listen, and I don't know.
If we look at the even our modern Arabic numeral system, we can...
You know what? I don't think the Gematria community of Zachary K. Hubbard or any of the other ones of them, like from any of the other channels, any of them, I don't think any of them are aware of this yet, this channel or this video or any of this, because the crazy thing is, I looked on their comments and there's no comments from any of the quicks. So like, what's crazy about this?
Work back and see how that's evolved over time. So it originated apparently in India and had various forms of evolution, which found its way, from what I understand, through Arabia into Spain, as per usual, and thereby into Europe, so that it eventually would become the most prevalent numbering system. And one of the wonderful innovations of that numbering system is the number 0. And just the fact that it's a lot easier to deal with math and mathematical ideas using this numbering system, as opposed, of course, to some of our ancient numbering systems. So we have, of course, the Greek, and I've got the first 10 letters of each of them to go with the decad, to go with our decimal system here. And we have the Hebrew, first 10 letters, and we have Abjad, which is the Arabic that would sort of apply to this numerology.
You guys notice what language isn't on here?
And we have just our basic Roman numerals, which are a lot more rudimentary in the sense that we have obviously like 1 is 1 finger, 2 is 2 fingers, 3 is 3 fingers, and then when we get to 5 we have like the V that makes the whole hand of fingers.
It's crazy we found this.
10 is 2 whole hands of fingers, and it gets a little clunky when you get to bigger numbers. One little fun thing, the Hebrew 10, the 10th letter, is Yod, and the Greek I is iota.
I got a pack of bowl.
They both essentially mean the same thing. I think Yod actually means hand, but it's like iota means a jot, which actually stands out a lot more in the Hebrew, where it's like a little jot. Now with Hebrew alphanumerics, we have the first letter, Aleph, would be used as the number 1, and then Beth would be 2, and we'd go through until we get to 10. And when we get to 10, that's where our Yud appears. After that, we've got all our single digits, so we don't have to repeat, we don't have to do 11, 12, and all that sort of thing. We do combinations, so we'd have 20 for Kaf, the next letter of the Hebrew alphabet, or Aleph Bet. And if you wanted to do 11, you'd do a combination of Yud and Aleph. And so we go in tens, and then after that we go in hundreds. And we also have final letters for some of the Hebrew letters. There's 22 Hebrew letters in the Hebrew alphabet, and there's a set of them that use final forms as well. They would be at the end of a word. So we would take that final form when that letter appears at the end of a word. Anywhere else in the word, it would appear.
There's 2 types of head. There's 2 types of name. I get it.
Yeah. We also have Greek, for instance, and there again, there's a similarity because we have alpha, beta, gamma, delta. So instead of having, it's still abjad. So it's these all come from a similar like language set. They're all very heavily influenced trade all over the Mediterranean region. So, of course, we had these ideas being spread around all over the place there. Lots of cross-pollination. So, and in the Greek case, we have a few extra letters as well that are archaic letters. So, like for the number 6, for instance, we have this F-looking deal, which has the English equivalent of sort of like a W. Yeah, there's also like this weird Q-looking thing. You know, those became defunct at some point in terms of actual language usage. So I want to give an example of the Hebrew.
Dude,
So
even
for
the
instance,
Church of Thelema
here
knows that
we have, this is
gematria
4
Hebrew.
letters.
Like, unbelievable. Look.
Yud, He, Vav, He. And this is the famous 4-letter name of God, which is often rendered as Yahweh or Jehovah. By Hebrew standards, by Jewish standards, the general sort of approach is not to pronounce it. It's supposed to be held sacred and not pronounced. And if you knew the proper pronunciation, there is an idea that you would destroy the world by pronouncing it. I think there was I'm probably going to butcher this to some extent, but there was a Jewish practice of entering the Holy of the Holies once a year, having the high priest enter the Holy of the Holies and pronounce the name, and that was the one time that was allowed to happen. Yeah, sounds about right.
You notice how the cipher's different?
What
they're doing?
Yes,
that's what that means.
Yeah.
You guys notice that?
And so that, if we take the enumeration of each of these, we have that friendly little yud, the jot, that enumerates to 10, and then we have the hays both enumerate to 5, and the 6 for vav. And that 4-letter name is also known as tetragrammaton. Enumerating 26, we have Aheva and Achad, both enumerate to 13, and the idea is that 13 plus 13 equals 26. Well, first of all, if love, the Hebrew word for love and the Hebrew word for one, Aheva and Achad, respectively, if they both enumerate to 13, then that suggests that there's some kind of resonance between those two ideas. That's behind this gematria sort of concept, is that if they enumerate to the same thing, then you can say that there's some quality that they share in common, or something to be gleaned from that. Even if they seem to be diverse, you can glean something from that. So the idea being that this can be very fruitful for meditation.
Like a gematria gleamer.
You can definitely send yourself off the rails with it, but we'll get to that later. So the idea that 13 plus 13 equals 26 suggests that there's a relationship between love, oneness, and them being the constitution of tetragrammaton. I mean, there's also the contrary point of view, like there's a Gnostic concept of the demiurge, and there's a common attribution of Yud-He, Vav-He as the Old Testament.
Notice how the
jealous
gematria
God
they're doing is Hebrew.
that is sort of like this demiurge that is something that was created that thinks it's God, and it gets tied into this whole Gnostic idea. So if that is the way that you read this, you could conceivably say that, well, if you're taking 13 times 2, that's creating duality instead of oneness. So you could make an argument for that.
Examples of Greek gematria.
So here's an example for Greek, which we can tie into Thelema, of course. I'm usually like, well, we don't want to give workshops just explaining that Thelema means will and it equates to 93, but Thelema means will, and it equates to 93. So we have the enumeration of each of from the Greek isopsophy, the same thing as gematria, and we add them all up, we get 93. This word is agape. Oh, and incidentally, this particular word, Thelema, we also have this particular word for love.
Notice how
agape.
These thelemics
in
are
Greek,
saying
there's a lot of
that
words for these
isopsophy
ideas.
is the
So,
same
like for
thing
instance,
as
there's a lot of
gematria.
words, especially for love, and it depends on the context and the application. So you have like filial love, you have various types of love, but in this case, agape is used particularly as the highest form of love.
You notice how they're only
as the
dealing
love of
with
humans
like Greek
for
and
God, and the love of God
Hebrew
for
and
and Thelema, meaning will, is used particularly as divine will, as in thy will be done, from the Lord's Prayer. So the fact that Thelema is being applied as will I mean, there's the most famous thing you probably get from Thelema is the saying, "Do what thou wilt shall be the
This
whole
is
of the
Aleister
law."
Crowley's
And it
cult
sounds
teaching
like
Gematria
"do what you
in
want,"
Toronto.
and it might mean that to some extent,
Well,
but it particularly seems to be tied because the connotation of will in this case is related to divine will. And love is the law, love under will is the response, and that is related to divine love. Now, we could delve into this further as well. So we have Thelema equates to 93, agape equates to 93, so we could say that there's it's almost like love is hidden, implicit in will. We could also note, we could do further analysis to further our investigations and to help augment our meditations. We could say that the word Thelema, well, we could observe that it's 6 letters, and think of the 6-pointed star. And that 6-pointed star represents the macrocosm and divinity. Particularly, it's the uniting of the macrocosm and the microcosm, so the individual with divinity. We have the upward-facing triangle and the downward-facing triangle, sort of like the aspirant.
I thought the quack said that this shit was the
Godhead.
Jesuits.
The 5-letter agape,
Dude, all this
which is
shit
implicit
predates the
in
Jesuits.
Thelema,
Like, fuck out of here. There was
is
no Jesuits.
representative
There's
of
no
the
Jesuits.
5-pointed star, the pentagram. And the pentagram represents the individual, the microcosm, but really the perfected individual. So we have the 4 elements, fire, water, air, and earth, which are the parts of the individual, and they have spirit. They are crowned with spirit. So this pentagram is a symbol of the equilibrated individual, and therefore you could take it as the adept. So we have these 2 ideas, and we could say that that unites the 2 ideas, and if we have 6 with 5, that brings up another Thelemic idea. An idea that elaborates upon the idea of 6 and 5 is the word abrahadabra. Abracadabra.
Look.
Adjusted word, abrahadabra. And that is 5 A's interpenetrating 6 diverse letters.
Look.
So the symbolism behind this word is the combination of the pentagram and the hexagram, which is an explicit uniting of the microcosm and the macrocosm, humanity and divinity. It represents the great work accomplished.
Oh, no.
So whatever the great work is, you may be entering upon the path of initiation and not know what to say about the great work. This is why we might say, it's common practice to say will before meals, which is like, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
What is thy will?
Thank you. It is my will to eat and drink,
What end?
that my body may be fortified thereby,
What end?
that I may accomplish the great work.
What is the law? Love under will.
Fall 2. Now the reason for this is, obviously it kind of imitates grace before meals, but it's specifically getting clear we're eating in order that we can continue to work along the path to accomplishing the great work. And we may not know what that is at the outset, or we may think we know what that is at the outset, but it will evolve as we further ourselves on the path. There's a way in which the reality and the truth of the adept is not understood by the vulgar who are outside and have not tread upon the path. And yet, the truth of the master of the temple is not understood by the adept. At each stage of the game, your understanding changes, or should change. And if you're grasping on to your idea about reality,
bear is walking
then
by on the
that
other
can
side of the
prevent you
fence.
from
That's
further
hilarious.
understanding,
Big old
further
bear.
evolution, further change.
I'm gonna drive off if he comes over this way.
But we can sort of do this kind of thing, taking the enumerations and following them out and connecting them with other ideas, and it can give us food for thought food for meditation and may give us surprises in other ways. Now, Crowley says of this from our 777 and other Kabbalistic writings. There's a paper on Gematria that it opens with. And he says of this, familiar. Of course, with powers so wide, it is easy for the partisan to find his favorite meaning in any word. Very true. Even the formal proof 0 equals 1 equals 2 equals 3 equals 4 equals 5 equals whatever number you want to try and make it equal is possible. But he says the adept who worked out this theorem, presumably himself, I would think, with the very intent to discredit the Kabbalistic mode of research, was suddenly dumbfounded by the fact that he had actually stumbled upon the Kabbalistic proof of pantheism or monism.
Unbelievable.
And I guess basically implying that means that God is in all numbers, or every number is infinite. There is no difference.
You can just make up anything with numbers, says
What really happens, he says, is that the adept sits down and performs many useless tricks with the figures without result. Suddenly the Lux dawns, and the problem is solved.
Suddenly the Lux dawns, and the problem is
Latin
solved?
for light, but it's used
so the light bears down on you, and you just fucking accept all numbers. He's alluding to
the fact that Lux is the
numbers are just holy.
Keyword from the Golden Dawn's
you notice that numbers go into everything.
So this Lux
the Lux
is
dawns
specifically
on you.
a divine light or a concept related.
You just have to believe the Gematria. Once you get the holy spiritual.
But yeah, this is pretty much what we're looking at with Gematria. That you can be doing all these different things, playing around with these numbers.
You can just make up
and then
the numbers and then be like,
the light dawns
and then
on
worship,
and you have some aha moment.
Unbelievable.
So let's take a look at number as language.
Here's part 2.
Over the years, I've been more and more sort of seeing things in terms of language and
number is language
more deeply.
Look, they're like doing a whole different cipher.
Language is and how powerful
they're using like different languages.
Our mind works is. We have these things on the surface. We tend to think of things in terms of like, well, we're using words, we're using grammar, we're using numbers, whatever it happens to be, we're communicating ideas. All energy continues. It doesn't just disappear, it goes somewhere. So like waves coming up on the shore, that energy is being dispersed into the land. It doesn't just stop dead. It transmutes into some other form of energy moving forward. One of the things that I was going to say as well is that like even with language, I'm talking right now, I'm using vocabulary and grammar to speak with, but I'm not specifically thinking about every word as I'm saying it. I have a feeling of what I want to say, and I've been speaking for long enough in English that I know how to transmute that into words without having to think about all the moving parts. If I had to think about grammar and sentence structure, vocabulary and all these things, I'd stop dead in my tracks and you'd see me translating in my head the whole time. But that stuff with use ends up sinking down and being able, it connects with other levels of the consciousness that work in tandem with it. So the idea that we're only in, this intellectual sphere is
look, he starts showing
a
how
limiting idea
that
neglects a lot of the other stuff that's going on.
Look, he's teaching Hermetic Kabbalah with the Q.
Now, as we try to look at this number system as a means of actually communicating ideas to ourselves or to other people, or discovering, gleaning things from texts or wherever we're getting them, or using them for magical practices, or for communicating with spirits if we're doing some kind of magical working or astral travel, we need to actually have these numbers mean something to us. We have to start to use them as a language. They have to we become fluent with these words that are expressed by number. I think Crowley talks about the idea that we're reducing it to a mathematical, we're reducing words to a mathematical level so that they become simplified and rarefied. That's one way you can think of that. Now, I wanted to look at the Sefer Yetzirah, because this is a purportedly ancient text. It's questionable exactly when it actually was written and who by, but it is incredibly influential for the Kabbalah. What we get from this is this will help us to see the evolution of the tree of life, which becomes an important system for categorization
Isn't this
and
where the
language
quack
and
fucking
expression and all
plagiarized this
these
shit and put it in
spiritual
like the beginning
ideas
of
that
his
we
book?
use. So the first chapter of Sefer Yetzirah introduces right off the bat
Even the Sefer
with
Yetzirah knows
32
that
mystical
Gematriah's
paths of wisdom, engraved Yah, which is the name of God, and then he goes through a number of names of God and expressions of the name of God. But we have 32 mystical paths of wisdom, and this already gives us the basis on which to build a system, a map, which is where we get our tree of life from. I did want to bring up 32, ends up giving us 32 paths that will produce 10 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, ending with our friendly little yud. And 22 letters, which is the number of the Hebrew letters.
Oh,
so that's where we get 32
Hebrew
from.
letters.
32 also, as Araya Kaplan, who published this version of the Sefer Yetzirah with his commentary, his vast commentary, he also points out at some point that 32 is the enumeration of the Hebrew word lev, which means heart.
Dude, there's like, this is
and I find that interesting. It's a two-letter word,
this shit really was,
lamed,
like, I was like,
beis,
holy shit.
and I find that interesting because in the, this is a bit of a side tangent, but I just wanted to bring this up again as another little gematria thing. In the Book of the Law, Nuit says, "Be thou Hadit, my secret center, my heart and my tongue." And in another place she says, "This shall regenerate the world, the little world my sister, my heart and my tongue, unto whom I send this kiss." So heart and tongue comes up a couple of times, and I decided to try translating that into Hebrew, heart and tongue. Heart gives, of course, lev, 32, and tongue ends up being lashon, which is 386, and you add those two together, you get 418. That may not mean anything to you. You might sort of start to be wondering if I'm crazy, and you get a lot of that
code.
today.
Oh my God,
and it's debatable whether I'll resolve that difficulty for you. But 418 is an incredibly important number within Thelemic discourse, particularly in the Book of the Law. It is the enumeration of that word abrahadabra that we saw earlier. And it comes up in a couple of places in the Book of the Law. So I felt like 418 must be important. And I don't have a complete thing, like doctrine behind this or anything like that. But I wanted to bring it up because I thought, hey, maybe heart and tongue, my heart and my tongue. If Dweed is talking to us and saying, referring to my little sister as my heart and my tongue, it seems like my little sister is the world. And that kind of says heart, it must be the 32 paths maybe. So whatever Lashon is in 386, I have yet to figure out.
Bonus tangent.
As I mentioned, we have 32 paths. It's the 10 Sephiroth now on the Tree of Life, which are also, Sephiroth is the Hebrew word meaning countings, or I think there's a couple of ways in which you can define that. But the root of it is a three-letter root that also works with, actually I'll go back for a second because the three-letter root is Samek Pei Resh, and it's also used for a few other words which are in here. It's Sepharim, which is books, Sefer, which is text, and Sephar, which is number. And in fact, it's even used for Sepur at the end, communication. So it's different permutations of the same root. But we have the 10 numbers for the Sephiroth, So of course we use decads, presumably because we have 10 fingers, and we can use those to count on, and that's the origination of our base 10 system.
So yeah,
of
Zach
numbers.
is lying. What
Other
this is
bases are
explaining is
possible,
how the Sephiroth
but,
of the Kabbalah tree of life.
We have 10 Sephiroth.
Look, there's 10 Sephiroth.
And then we have the paths connecting them,
It's like your ciphers,
which are 22.
And we attribute in Gematria, the ciphers go from 1
We also
to
use
10, and then
the
they
tarot
go from,
trumps to attribute to those paths, and the tarot.
Then they go from 10 to
pips,
100,
as they're called,
and then they go up by the
small numbers.
hundreds. That's how
We'll stack
Gematria
onto
works.
each of the Sephiroth.
This is Gematria, even
the
in
court cards
Aleister
attributed in a
Crowley.
little bit more of a
Even in
side
Aleister
thing.
Crowley,
It's really complicated really
they've
quickly, and this
yet
is the
to say
biggest danger of this
Gematria's
talk, is
4
like
ciphers
how
in
much of a
English, if
tangent
you notice.
I could go on. The whole thing is basically a tangent, really.
Dude, even in Aleister Crowley, they know fucking Gematria is fucking unfucking believable. Why do you guys think the quacks are lying about this shit?
The idea is that over time, as you know this stuff, it starts to help you compartmentalize things. It's like a filing system. So for each of the 10 numbers, you can build
Once you realize
associations.
what
So
Gematria
you're dealing with
actually
them, and
is
then with the
versus
trumps, you've
what the
got, or the
quacks
paths,
claim
you've
that
got
it is,
associations
look.
with them as well. But we have planetary attributions. And one way to visualize this is we have Malkuth is the kingdom, that's like Earth down here. And sort of from working
Really,
your
the
way
bottom
up
chakra?
this way, we have the planets attributed to each of the Sephiroth. And those are in the order, the Chaldean order, which is to say the order they seem to be from the point of view of the Earth. So we see the moon closest, and then Mercury, Venus, the sun, and then beyond that we see Mars and Jupiter, and then Saturn. Traditionally, Chokmah is attributed to the sphere of the fixed stars. So you could think of it as like the zodiac.
Unfucking-believable.
Or,
Why do you
just
guys think the quack is
stars in
lying
general.
about all this shit?
And then Kether didn't
Kether?
have an attribution, as far as I can remember off the top of my head. That is the primal unit. And in this attribution, this is like one of Crowley's
Like
later
he said that the
attributions
ordinal
of things,
main
as
cipher of
Uranus
Gematria is
and
1 through
Neptune
fucking 26.
and Pluto, of course, as well, were late discoveries as far as the planets go. They were only discoverable
It's
once
not.
we had the
I mean,
right,
it's obviously it's
tools
not.
to be able to actually discover them.
goes from 1 to
So I think in
10.
like
The 1 through
1700s
10
going
are the
forward, we started
names
to
and the
discover
paths
these.
in the chart of
And
the Sephiroth.
in fact,
The Sephiroth. The
Uranus
Sephirim,
was originally
the
called
Sephiroth,
Herschel, which
the
is why it's
Sephiroth.
got an H there
Sephirim?
for the symbol.
fucking 4 Kabbalistic words. Tree of life. Gematria, Kabbalah, Thelema.
Here we have the 10 spheres that I was describing, but we'll focus on these 4
Here we have
circles.
the 10 spheres. that
And we'll
we're
start
describing.
with
You
the
have
2 lower circles, because this is kind of where we, for instance, if we start with
Look, the Book of
Osea,
Formation.
this is the world
It's from
of
the Book of
action,
Formation. Quack.
connected with what we think of as our physical bodies and the physical world around us. More accurately, I think it's more like the way in which we are able to experience these things. So like our senses, our physical senses, our physical engagement with the world around us. Because when it comes down to it, that's all we have, is what comes into our minds, what comes into our experience. I mean, there's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of philosophy based on this idea of determining what it is we can actually say we know about the world around us. I'm sure most of you are quite familiar with this, but if not, it's always a fun thing to play with, really trying to understand what you actually know about the world around you and what we take for granted about the world around us, to the point of even it existing at all. Now the next level up we have the world of formation, which is Yetzirah. This is more interior to us in the sense that it's a lot to do with the intellect, I think, is the strongest connection it usually gets. And the intellect tends to be where we think we are. When we think of I, it tends to associate itself with the intellect. I've learned from experience that's not actually true. It's just bias that we fall into. But that is a strong aspect of our Yetziratic part of the soul, or the mind, or however we want to parse this. There's also the way that we conceptualize things. There's imagination, memory, these different ideas caught up in this. And we're kind of peeling back the layers. We're starting from what we think of as the outside and working our way in here. Beyond that, we have the next two worlds above us, which are the world of creation, which is Bria. And this is where we tend to experience archangels and angels and this sort of thing. So it's kind of like where we're getting beyond our own mind, our own personal identity of individuality and that sort of thing, and we're bridging the gap into something beyond.
You can't just say
whether or not that has its own independent reality, we don't really have to worry about at the outset here. We can keep everything kind of in an ambiguous and undetermined state, because we can treat this as, well, what happens if all of this idea about gods and angels and all this sort of thing is just imagination? Well, fine, let's leave it there for now. And what we can do is test things out, see what works and that sort of thing, and we'll talk about this as we go along. But either way, this is kind of where we bridge the gap between us and whatever that deeper thing is. And that deeper thing, I mean, this is where we get a little bit, it gets tougher to go on without having to rely on some kind of these terms that get nebulous and that sort of thing. So let's just go with calling it God.
Think you're
we'll
God.
Just jump the gun and call it God, because everybody knows what we're talking about. And if you don't believe in God, that's fine too. But we'll sort of arbitrarily assert that this is where Godhead would be, and the archetypal world, far beyond the mind. So I think theoretically we're not really able to reach up there, at least not with normal mind. And if we are able to reach up there in any way, or get anything back from it, or have some kind of communication,
I believe in Creator.
It's going to be through Bria. Yeah, so anyway, we've got this system here, and this helps us, this aids us to build associations for the numbering systems and that sort of thing. So getting to know the Tree of Life is really handy for building on our Gematric system. There's a lot of doctrines surrounding this as well that are outside of just mere filing system. There's this whole idea that we can use this to express the universe. We can use it to express the individual person. We can use it to express initiation, the process of initiation. So we have the lightning flash, which created the Sephiroth coming down the Tree of Life like this. And then we have the path of return, which follows a serpentine path and weaves around the Sephiroth, touching each of the paths on the way back up. Now, obviously, like this gets, because this is so overwhelmingly complicated and convoluted seeming at the outset, we have our book 777 and Other Kabbalistic Writings of Aleister Crowley. Basically, 777 is a set of tables like this one here, which helps to categorize all these ideas. And then there's also, at the beginning of the book, we have a few essays on the subject of Gematria.
In this book, they talk about
Gematria. And then at the end of the book, we also have Sephiroth, which is Sephir again is the singular for book in Hebrew, and Sephiroth countings, the book of countings, or the book of numbers. So it's essentially a number dictionary. You have numbers, and then you have whatever Hebrew words are associated with those numbers. That could be really handy for looking those things up. You can also create your own sort of dictionary of numbers, of course, and add to it as you go along. We have all our numbers along here, starting from the veils of the knot, which come before the Sephiroth. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can see, writ large here. And then we have all the paths down below, which we'll get to. So here we have our Sephiroth, and then the 3 veils of knot. And so, like, for instance, we have the first Sephiroth is Kether. Here's the Hebrew spelling of it. It means crown. And then we have the English spelling of it over there.
Look, they chart it with the Hebrew look.
And there'll be, throughout, as you go through the tables, these numbers along here will keep you on point with, okay, I'm looking for Kether, something that's associated with Kether. This could be really good for instance, if you're doing magic ritual. You can look up, I want to do something for the moon, so it makes sense to do something for Yesod, because Yesod has the planetary association with the moon. Yesod means foundation. You can follow up on what colors are appropriate for that. It'll have that in different scales. It'll have...
You see what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. These quack motherfuckers aren't actually doing real gematria.
Have the scents appropriate to it, like perfumes or minerals or plants, that sort of thing. So you can use it for those kinds of correspondences. And you could also use it just for building your own inner filing cabinet. You can build associations using these scents and colors and things for these things, which is really handy, because then as you're using ritual, or even if you're just in your normal life and trying to build these associations, it organizes your mind, because the way that memory works, something triggers a memory, your mind shoots over to this particular set of filing cabinets that it has built associations with that for. So for instance, like a nice easy one is, okay, we're getting into winter now. Later on in next summer, when you can finally smell strawberries, fresh strawberries, you know, the smell of fresh strawberry can trigger off memories that you haven't smelt in a long time. Or like fresh cut grass, or maybe something like much older that you haven't experienced since you were a child. You know, those particular peanut candies that you used to get at Halloween that are kind of gummy, you know, like the flavor of that. Maybe that triggers off memories, and then that shoots you back. You could even feel your whole state of mind change if it's been a long time since you experienced that memory, and your mind goes up to those filing cabinets that it figures you'll need for something related to that.
You know what's funny as fuck? You know what's even fucking goofier than that? What's funny as fuck? There's even a channel... Dude, they're even on that channel that I just shared. They have a video about fucking Aleister Crowley yoga. And it's like dead serious. And it's from the Church of Thelema in Toronto. Unfucking real. Unbelievable. What's good? 5 viewers and 5 likes? Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys. It's fucking unfucking believable. Hilarious. Jesus Christ. You guys are what fucking unbelievable. This is ridiculous.
Hello, Gematas.
Hello.
Welcome to Satanic Gematria. Jesuit Yoga class. I'm your host, Zachary K. Hilberg, and I suck ass. I want you all to raise your hands and take a deep breath of Itachi's fart. We will be working on big booty Gematria in a satanic view to start. Satanic Gematria is to breathe and lie. Sign up to Gematria Yoga Sports Betting Patreon or die. Reach up to the sky and slowly bend over. Have them smell your ass like a 4-leaf clover. It's the Gematria big booty cloud chasing as you reach far down. Breathe in afar and look at me to hover the cloud. Now get into the plank position and do a dragon right now. Take a Gematria, kicking an ass to release your baby like wow. It's Gematria satanic yoga to prognosis for Jews. As you do a pose, count to 33, 42, 56, 47, 2000 for Gematria fake news.
You know this shit's a joke.
Lie, lie, lie!
What's up, you guys? I gotta pack another bowl. I haven't even heard this shit yet.
We are Gematriaholics to Gematriah, a Muslim atria prays 5 times a
Oh
day.
yeah, what's good, you guys? We're just
Salah, salah, to keep the cursed shaitan away.
You notice how that channel said that the gematria was totally different than what the quack claims?
And we all bow down to just your praise. Each day 5 times a day, pray to your name.
I mean, that channel that we just shared is pretty much like the actual Aleister Crowley source of gematria. That's a fact. The Church of Thelema regarding about gematria is more legit than whatever the fuck the quacks are saying. That's more legit what I just showed. That we actually teach and learned fucking gematria. Even Aleister Crowley and the AA and the OTO and the BTOA and the fucking the Illuminati fucking order of fucking the Aleister Crowley and the Order of Golden Dawn fucking knows gematria is Hebrew. Unfucking believable. But the quack wants to tell you that it's 4 ciphers in English, as per on the quackulator. Quack!
Up, up, up. When the sun goes down, Salah, Salah, Akbar, we place our heads upon the ground. Inshallah, before we go to bed. Salah, Salah, we pray then rest our sleepy number
Hey, what's up, you guys? Dude, I bet you some of you guys get it. I bet you some of y'all understand what we're saying or sharing here. Go back and find the channel. Go back and find the channel that I shared. Go back and look at what it says, actually. You know?
We are Gematriah.
Dude, see if it fucking says anywhere that fucking gematria is 4 ciphers in English. Look, it doesn't. It actually doesn't say that. They don't even have a video that says that fucking bullshit. But they do have a video about Aleister Crowley yoga.
And we are
that I just went through, that's just hype and rhetoric and goofy ass shit. Dude, that shit really don't have a lick of shit about fucking shit. What's CM talking about? Holy shit, CM's battling it out with all the quacks? Jesus Christ. My haters are making me greater. Let's see what CM's talking about. Oh, he's all glitched out. Alright, let's see. I just went into his chat. God damn it, really? His stream's all glitched out? Jesus Christ. I'm live! What's up, y'alls? What's crack-a-lackin'? Where's all the fucking Gematriaholics Anonymous? Let's see, is CM... Does his channel work yet? Oh shit, no, he like passed out or it's like glitched out, I don't know. The perfect way to start each once again we pray. Salam, we are how come you guys think that it is? Why do you guys think it is that I don't get all the crossover traffic from CT and CM and fucking Gematria? How come none of these motherfuckers want to debate Gematria? Like, fucking unbelievable. Fuck out of here. What's up, King Pix? Yo. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I'm live. I wonder why I don't get the crossover traffic. So I can't even tell if my chat's even working. That's super duper weird. Maybe they were attacking a stream. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. I don't know. Some of the stuff with... Unbelievable.
By the end of this video, you'll understand why we call Gematria the devil's math. The association of Hebrew letters with numerical values doesn't come from God, and it doesn't come from the Hebrews. It comes from Greece. In ancient times, the Greeks learned the Hebrew alphabet from Israel's neighbors, the Phoenicians, and they adopted it as their own. They turned the Hebrew Aleph and Bet into the Greek Alpha and Beta. At that time, Israel was a mighty nation with 12 tribes, but hundreds of years later, all that remained of Israel was the much smaller house of Judah, and Judah found themselves under Greek rule. They saw that the Greeks had added numbers to the alphabet, and that they were using it for things like coded messages and poetry and magic. Jewish mystics called the system Gematria, after the Greek word geometry. And to this day, Gematria is used by even some Christian teachers to study the Bible. But the practice is not biblical. It's mysticism, and it's a tradition of men. The Bible actually prophesies that Gematria will be in use at the end of days, but it won't be for any good purpose. And here is why we call it the devil's math. Revelation says, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast." That word understanding is actually just mind. And we learn from the scriptures that you can have the mind of Christ or a corrupt mind. The false prophet and his corrupt mind will indeed count the number of the beast's name using Gematria. And he will use this number to place a mark on people who worship the devil. So, if Gematria isn't original to the Hebrew language, and it doesn't come from God, and it's destined to be a tool of the Antichrist, why would we study it? Here at Original Hebrew, we don't. At the end of this video, you'll understand why we call Gematria the devil's math.
Hilarious.
The
Fucking
association
audio. That's so
of Hebrew
great.
letters with numerical values.
What's up, Sports Gematria? Yeah, the devil's math. Dude, this shit's hilarious. Look,
In
look,
ancient
look.
times, the Greeks learned the Hebrew alphabet.
Here, we'll run it back.
This video, you'll understand why we call Gematria the devil's math. The association of Hebrew letters with numerical values doesn't come from God, and it doesn't come from the Hebrews. It comes from Greece. In ancient
Hold on, look. They always say they're like, it's in Greek. They're like, we know it is. It's in Greek too. Quack. Look.
this video, you'll understand why we call Gematria the devil's math. Association of Hebrew letters with numerical values doesn't come from God, and it doesn't come from the Hebrews. It comes from Greece. In ancient times, the Greeks learned the Hebrew alphabet from Israel's neighbors, the Phoenicians, and they adopted it as their own. They turned the Hebrew Aleph and Bet into the Greek Alpha and Beta. At that time, Israel was a mighty nation with 12 tribes, but hundreds of years later, all that remained of Israel was the much smaller house of Judah, and Judah found themselves under Greek rule. They saw that the Greeks had added numbers to their alphabet, and that they were using it for things like coded messages and poetry and magic. Jewish mystics called the system Gematria, after the Greek word geometry. And to this day, Gematria is used by even some Christian teachers to study the Bible. But the practice is not biblical. It's mysticism, and it's a tradition of men. The Bible actually prophesies that Gematria will be in use at the end of days, but it won't be for any good purpose. And here's why we call it the devil's math. Revelation says, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast." That word understanding is actually just mind. And we learn from the scriptures that you can have the mind of Christ or a corrupt mind. The false prophet and his corrupt mind will indeed count the number of the beast's name using Gematria. And he will use this number to place a mark on people who worship the devil. So, if Gematria isn't original to the Hebrew language, and it doesn't come from God, and it's destined to be a tool of the Antichrist, why would we study it? Here at Original Hebrew.
Cipher. He crashed out about the fourth cipher, you guys. Dude, you want to see some fucking funny ass, goofy ass, gematria ass shit? Look at this shit, look. Look.
Hello, Gematrians. Welcome to Satanic Gematria, Jesuit yoga class. I'm your host, Zachary K. Hubbard, and I suck ass.
I made this video at like 3 in the morning.
I want you all to raise your hands and take a deep breath of Itachi's fart. We will be working on big booty gematria in a satanic view to start.
Oh yeah. That would be good at a babysitter ad.
Sign up to Gematria, yoga, sports, betting, Patreon, or die. Reach up to the sky and slowly bend over. Have to and smell your ass like a 4-leaf clover. It's the Gematria, big booty cloud chasing as you reach far down. Breathe in a fart and look at me, the Hubbard, the clown. Now get into the plank position and do a dragon breath. Now take Gematria digging, and as you release your breath, be like, wow. It's Gematria, satanic yoga, cloud for views. As you do a pose, count to 33, 42, 56, 47, total turn for Gematria fake news. Two women watch my panel and the rest are weird coward guys. Did we did the Gematria satanic fraud pose for 5 black guys. Breathe, fraud, fraud, fraud. Lie, 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 die, die, die. Breathe, fraud, fraud, fraud. Lie, 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 die, die, die. Come down to downward dog and raise your Gematria booty in the air. Sing the Jesuit anthem, Mises, Hominium, Salvator, anywhere. Chant the Jesuit name that did the code today. Hey, King Snitchard, is your fat getting in the way? Itachi, raise your butt up more so Titney can sniff you. Jules, all we have to say is you're a slimy Jew now. Come to a sun-supplication post for the Jesuit logo. I'm your instructor, Zachary Hubbard, flying into the Twin Towers with a pogo. It's Gematria, satanic yoga, cloud for views. As you do a pose, count to 33, 42, 56, 47, 12 alone for Gematria fake news. Two women watch my panel and the rest are weird coward guys. Till they did the Gematria satanic fraud pose for 5 black guys. Breathe, fraud, fraud, fraud. Lie, 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 die, die, die. Breathe, fraud, fraud, fraud. Lie, lie, lie,
Die, die, die.
satanic yoga, cloud for views. As you do a pose, count to 33, 42, 56, 47, taverns for Gematria fake news. Two women watch my panel.
Dude, that might be the funniest video ever created. I mean, unbelievable.
Till they did the Gematria satanic fraud pose for 5 black guys.
Yeah, exactly. That dude, that might be like the funniest video ever created.
Start sleeping under here.
Do you guys
Who is Joe Macan?
Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Fucking number, like, unfucking believable. You guys know what I'm talking about? Aleister Crowley yoga? The photo of Evan is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I felt too bad to use it myself. I know, he actually accidentally went live. He actually accidentally went live with the Quack, and then he had his camera on, and he was like, oh, he's like, sorry, Zach. He's like, I'm sorry, my bad. I wasn't trying to fucking flash the stream or nothing, but I just got out of the shower and we were doing satanic gematria yoga in the shower or whatever the fuck. Unbelievable. Yeah, he was, dude. It was super goofy and weird. It was super quack the fuck out. It's like, once you see some shit like that, it's kind of like what CM was saying about that other guy, fucking Leonard or whatever from the CT universe. Like, I guess the guy flashed his asshole. I mean, it's like similar. He's like, I'm traumatized. After you seen fucking, the one from San Jose, the motherfucker, he's like, I am fucking, whatever the fuck that guy is, like, unfucking believable. Who is that guy in the Gematria universe? It's like San Jose Sports Decodes or some garbage ass shit like that. Like, unbelievable. Yeah, this is your brain on Gematria. What do you think about, hey, honest question, hey, since we got your guys' attention, well, honest question, Sports Gematria, what's your take on the new Gematria calculator, the Gematrianator astronumeric calculator? Did you notice that? Do you think they're going to start doing astronumeric Gematria? I mean, if fucking Gematrianator calculator is updated, I mean, everybody should fucking move up to the new Astro. You need to play it, so I haven't checked it out. Okay, listen to this. This is my ad. This is the new Astro fucking numeric calculator. Look it up. I'll show you my video, but like, you can look it up too. Like, dude, this is crazy work. Hold on. This is literally the new fucking astronumeric Gematrianator calculator. Welcome back, Truth Seekers. We just wanted to introduce everyone today to the new Gematrianator astronumeric calculator. Dude, I'm not making this up. This is the website. The updated version of the Gematria calculator. However, it looks like, you know, we've been a long time paying customer, we've been like a long time free user of the Gematrianator services. Look. This service is available to paid astronumeric members. God damn it. Please log in or purchase an astronumeric membership to access this service. Existing members receive a discount. Already logged in and have a membership? View here. View now. Look, it's Derek. Visit a Discord at any time for support. The astronumeric calculator. The astronumeric calculator is an all-in-one integrated astrology and numerology calculator. The most powerful tool for decoding your life and world events. learning about astrology, numerology, and the world of spirituality.
This is a video I did a couple days ago.
Astrology, gematria, dates, numerology, events, notes, tarot, and the Bible.
Have they always had this calculator, or is this like a brand spanking new gematria calculator?
This thing, when you guys get a load of this new gematria calculator, the Gematrianator calculator update, and you buy today, your mind will be blown. There's so many more codes and numbers. Excuse us. We're really excited about this new Gematria purchase. Buy some Gematria. You can sync things with the codes, dates, events, numbers, and ciphers. For example, look, 201, 9/11, and a bunch of astrology, every type of all the entirety of all astrology, every date, just everything is in here. Look, you can, I mean, you can sync stuff from, you know, the bad, even from like the Benghazi, if you want to know date numerology and astrological significance between everything, just, I mean, anything, even from, what is this? Look, they have construction on the Pentagon started, give or take, plus or minus 60 years. If you want to,
yeah, they have the date numerology, from, like plus or give or minus 20,
like,
50, 40, 60 years.
From George Washington Bush's New World Order speech, give or take 11 years, you know, depending on how you want your codes to be aligned. Or from the 9/11 destruction of the World Trade Center, you can.
Dude, this shit is goofy as fuck. This is ridiculous.
Like, oh my fucking
this
God,
is why the
give or
quack
take
needs,
11
is
years
gonna
from,
quit.
like, the Benghazi attacks.
You're not,
I mean,
dude.
this is
Imagine the quack
really,
like trying to
really
update
interesting.
to all
is
this. Like,
fascinating.
unbelievable.
You can date code shit and people's deaths and birthdays from, like, you know, anywhere from the construction on the World Trade Center being agreed upon, give or take 59 years, or, you know,
give or take
like,
years.
what the fuck? Unbelievable. You can find some other shit that's
Plus or
like
minus
59
20
years before those significant events and dates in history and
find
numerology and
every
astrology and gematria and dates and
correlation,
events
like
and
it's a
notes and
fucking
tarot and the Bible.
coral in the ocean.
You know, nuclear, what is this report coming in? Unbelievable. Hold on. Nuclear weapon in orbit, U.S. Space Command.
Dude, hell yeah, SG, I agree with that. Christians won the Gematria community debates, and now Hubbard is rage quitting. I know. It's ridiculous.
Calculator. All right. Now decode all in one screen with dates, astrology, numerology, and much more, all seamlessly integrated. Match, highlighting, hover over any number or word to highlight matching gematria, date spans, or date numerology.
Just read the fucking
numerical sequences we got here. Numbers in mathematical sequences are automatically marked, all right? Easy match numbers with numerological relationships. So you can, like, chart this shit all out like you're fucking in a fucking, like, crazy fucking number chart investigator movie. There's over 100 ciphers in 6 fucking languages, including algorithmic ciphers that they made up, multiplicative, building value, etc. Multiplicative, all right? So they have, like, different ways of adding and ciphering, and, you know, I mean, this is ciphered the fuck out to the max, you guys. You can create your own custom ciphers. Wow, really? You can make a fucking quack cipher. Buy today.
Dude, you should make sports gematria cipher.
Search for words with matching gematria. Ooh. Pin gematria values and save notes about any number for future reference.
Easily create screenshots with the gematria matched.
Dude, they gotta make a Zachary K. Hubbard cipher
Dude,
wherever,
this is
whatever
gonna
his
make
name
fucking
equals in fucking
gematria blow
ordinal.
up.
They just like
This is gonna fucking explode.
make it
dude.
like
This is
go
gonna make
times
fucking
2 per every
gematria blast
letter.
off to the
No,
moon.
some shit.
We're really excited about
And you'll get like super high numbers.
astronumeric gematrianator calculator. We promise.
Dude, if they made a fucking based 8 fucking times 2 cipher of Zachary K. Hubbard cipher, dude, that shit would go, the numbers would go so fucking high.
We promise. You know, you're like the fucking star.
Yeah, make the Dr. Seuss gematria cipher. Make it Adolf Hitler cipher. Make fucking Mark Zuckerberg cipher.
Into the stars, and
they should make an Elon Musk cipher.
Gematria. We can combine.
They should make a Donald Trump cipher.
And it'll become astronumeric.
They should make a fucking little Wayne cipher.
You can become an astronumeric.
Dude, they should make an Island Boy cipher. I mean, fuck out of here. They should make the fucking Jeffrey Epstein cipher.
Astronumeric takes numerology to the next level by seamlessly working it together with a full-featured astrology calculator. That's
Dude, they should make up a fat... I know what Fat King Snitchard could do. He could make up Fat fucking Snitchard... Fat King Snitchard cipher, or whatever the fuck.
Anagrams.
You know?
Anyways, whatever. It doesn't have anagrams. We'll just still do the... We're advertising the new Gematriaholic. No, the astro.
They should make up Garrow has no teeth cipher. What's up, mighty buffoon?
Sorry. View all of the constellations where the planets are in the sky with Skyview gematria. Easy plot graphs of planetary aspect cycles of planetary motion over time.
New gematria calculator.
With graph view, calculate dates of exact aspects. Dude, you could probably make way more precise astrological predictions with something like this. Dude, now that this is up to date, you guys, we're really excited about this.
Dude, I swear to God, I said this shit in one of my streams, and then Derek updated the calculator and made up the astronumeric calculator.
It's advanced, it's evolved, you guys. Looky here. What is this?
Yo, mighty buffoon, he got it wrong. I told him he had to put anagrams on this shit. I was like, dude, you gotta put anagrams on there, and he didn't fucking do it. So I don't want to pay $11 a month for the fucking astronumerical new Gematriaholics calculator. Like, I wanted to buy it, but I told him to put fucking anagrams on the shit.
To view more information,
like, fuck out of here.
Save notes.
We gotta go look up fucking anagrams on the side on Google searches separately from the calculator. Like, what the fuck, man? Fuck out of here.
Is by type,
how dare you,
time,
Derek?
And Sero series, and view the eclipse path for 5,000 years worth of eclipses. Dude, you could make way more precise calculations. Look at this. I mean, it even has like a hint of a esoteric. I don't know. There's still something that feels natural. There's something still on about this that just feels really esoteric, dark and esoteric. You know, I mean, there's. Dude, their Jesuits are in the sky, bro. Look at this. You can just fucking accurately waveform pattern gematria. You can fucking sky chart, earth map, temp gauge, fucking gematria. You can fucking zone in and have the AI fill out the fucking gods in the sky type shit. And dude, just fucking running it through everyone. You can track everyone on this thing.
You guys ever did elevation gematria?
You can track everybody with this thing per their fucking space chart.
Of like where the quack lives.
All right, so we have some dates and events coming up, you guys. I'm sorry, Derek paid us. I We're supposed to do a Gematria ad for the community.
It'd be interesting to learn the actual Google Maps, Google Earth fucking like Earth map coordinates of the quack and see what those numbers
the
are.
Astronumeric,
the actual like map chart coordinates. You know what I mean?
Save and quickly search for
the
events.
numbers never lie, truth seekers.
dude,
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting to see what the actual coordinate map chart fucking numbers of the quack, where it's like to an inch of where he sits in his fucking house?
The new
like whatever the fucking, we know the elevation is 666
you can
where the
create
quack
events.
is at, but
You're not
it would be curious to know the actual like the coordinates on the map,
Literally
like that.
per
You know what I
byte
mean?
code.
Those type of numbers.
Astrologically, all right? And quickly save your code and your decode. You can code and decode using a notepad function. Search for events to quickly compare data spans without having...
Do you guys like the concept that we did recently? Our latest concept that we collaborated on, me and Badger, the fucking satanic gematria yoga. I mean, is that fucking goofy as fuck or what? That's fucking ridiculous. That shit's hilarious. Yeah, it's like 666201 or some shit. Exactly, SG.
Pentagram dates, pentagram
Holy
dates.
shit, dude, this
Venus
is an
pentagram dates. We'll
advertisement
get
that
more
I
on
made
that
for
later.
the
I'm
new
going to do a stream
astronumeric
and we'll
calculator,
explain the star ruby ritual and maybe what that might mean.
And fucking dude, it's like, this is only halfway through the video. I literally read their whole guy's website.
You can view time spans for days from one date to another.
I'm like halfway through the
span
video,
of days or days between days.
Yes.
You can instantly view events that occur on the anniversary of
Dude,
any
it has
given date.
quackulated fucking
You can use the date grid tool to compare large numbers of dates.
Into the quackulator.
View events, anniversaries, holidays, and
can you imagine how
events
quacky the
on
future
the
quacks are
calendar
going to be?
tool.
This is ridiculous.
And I mean, like, this is wild.
This is
guys.
ridiculous. They have fucking date spans.
You're gonna have
it's like built
many
into the
fucking much more
quackulator.
numbers. It's ridiculous.
That says fucking
Like,
from that 56
unfucking
president, first
believable.
Catholic
And it's like the
president,
same old gematria.
died in being Catholic.
But
and,
you
dude,
know what's old is new again. You're gonna have to learn whatever all these
whatever
fucking
all these other
symbols
symbols are, fucking for all the planets and fuck like.
And then you're gonna have to
fucking
still go
believable.
back and cross-reference and tie this back to Hebrew somehow. But I guess you can do that on the calculator, but you might find a lot more high numbers.
Look at the new quackulator, how
Right?
quacky
You don't
this
have
shit
to
is.
use the old
Jesus Christ.
any of the old quackulators anymore. No worries, you guys. We got you. We got everything fucking covered for all of your fucking gematria needs.
You could do
Dude,
every
you could fucking
space chart.
and plan fucking like a space trip to Mars with this shit. Probably. Dude, if you put your entire life into this fucking quackulator, we guarantee you won't end up in the Matrix.
Look,
We
this is
promise you
actually
it's not
the
like a satanic cult or nothing.
calculator website. Look.
Numerology, astronumeric, takes numerology to the next level with many advanced new features. We have 29
Dude, Quacky's gonna
mathematical
have
new
to quit.
sequences,
I mean, this is ridiculous.
factorization,
I don't know how they're gonna
factorization,
they're gonna have to
and
like
base
slide it in. They're
conversions.
like,
all
oh
right?
yeah, by the
We
way,
have
we're
in-depth
doing
number reference for number word
astronumerics
gematria, date conversions, and
I want a
mathematically
calculator that
related
completely
numbers.
takes over your whole room.
Bible
Yeah, it just
reference.
turns your room into a.
You can find related
schizo
verses,
number.
chapters, and
Infestation.
Strong's
Just numbers
coordinates, words
everywhere,
for any
projecting
given number.
like a
Search
disco
the Bible
ball of
verses with
gematria.
given gematria.
It's like disco balls deep in gematria, like a disco. You have like two disco balls running at once doing fucking gematria projections all over the walls, and like there's like popes and Jesuits and fucking trolls and motherfuckers popping up everywhere all around, and numbers are flying around everywhere. And you're like in the fucking Matrix, and you just hear advanced fucking gematria, satanic yoga chanting in the background, and you're like, what in the hell? You're like, Jesus Christ, and you just want to fucking, you just want big booty gematria, you know?
Probably not.
Like, fuck out of here. Unbelievable. Unfucking.
I don't even like looking at the regular calendar as it is.
The quack has to
like
fucking.
Looking at just all these fucking numbers. Dude, there's so many fucking numbers on here. You're fucking.
Dude, there's like
you're
1,000 times more numbers on the new quackulator.
You're
like,
gonna be so quacked the fuck out off of numbers.
Dude,
after
they're gonna
all this.
be hella
It's
fucking quacked the
ridiculous.
fuck out.
It doesn't even. Where's the Torah? Where's the fucking Kabbalah? It has the Bible. All right, so the
numbers,
Bible,
Mason, what do they
the
mean?
astronumeric calculator features a
Hot
fully
dog
featured
equals
Bible
33
reference
in
tool.
fake
That doesn't that seem like
it's not.
Jesuit biased? I don't know about you guys, but that seems a little Jesuit biased. They
Full
should
moon
also
today. The
have
quacks will
actual
be on the
Kabbalahs
loose
on here.
today. Uh-oh.
I forgot to tell Derek to put the fucking actual Kabbalahs on here so you can cross-reference all the actual different real types of Kabbalah and the Bible. He got the Bible on there, but we need all
I'm
other
gonna have to start moving. Like, this is
religiosity and
ridiculous,
religious
you guys.
research.
You guys didn't hear about that? Anyways, dude, there's still like 4 minutes left of me reading through the whole fucking, like, that's crazy work. Like, I'm like literally reading the fucking astronumeric Gematriaholics calculator that I told Derek to make, but he forgot to put the fucking anagrams and some other fucking. I told him to put. You know what I told him to put on there? Not only anagrams, I wanted him to put fucking a actual Ouija board on the shit. I was like, you need to add a Ouija board and stenography. Well, it's kind of like stenography, but you got to put the actual stenographics and all the fucking. You're gonna need all those fucking symbols as well. You need 72 fucking symbols that are like symbols from fucking, like, they're like actual like circuit board type, like computer chip type symbols in gematria, and there's like 72 of them, and they also represent the fucking 72 demons of the Kabbalah. You know, you need all that shit on the fucking new quackulator. You can't just put fucking. Dude, he even has Bible verse. He's like, dude, it has Bible gematria and Christian shit on there. And it's all, dude, it's all inputted in the quackulator. Dude, the new Gematriaholics calculator is quacky as fuck. Jesus fucking Christ. Unbelievable. Listen to the rest of the video on your own. Like, it's ridiculous. I'll be right back. Hey, what's good, y'all? Did Quacky never went live? What the fuck was that stream that Quack did earlier? He was like trying to like promote Satanism or some shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck that shit was. Hey, what's good, you guys? The full moon today. Hold on, let's run it back. Let's play that video again. Why we don't use
By the end of this video, you'll understand why we call Gematria devil's math. The association of Hebrew letters with numerical values doesn't come from God, and it doesn't come from the Hebrews. It comes from Greece. In ancient times, the Greeks learned the Hebrew alphabet from Israel's neighbors, the Phoenicians, and they adopted it as their own. They turned the Hebrew aleph and beit into the Greek alpha and beta. At that time, Israel was a mighty nation with 12 tribes, but hundreds of years later, all that remained of Israel was the much smaller house of Judah, and Judah found themselves under Greek rule. They saw that the Greeks had added numbers to their alphabet and that they were using it for things like coded messages and poetry and magic. Jewish mystics called the system Gematria, after the Greek word geometry. And to this day, Gematria is used by even some Christian teachers to study the Bible. But the practice is not biblical. It's mysticism, and it's a tradition of men. The Bible actually prophesies that Gematria will be in use at the end of days, but it won't be for any good purpose. And here is why we call it the devil's math. Revelation says, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast." That word understanding is actually just mind. And we learn from the scriptures that you can have the mind of Christ or a corrupt mind. The false prophet and his corrupt mind will indeed count the number of the beast's name using Gematria. And he will use this number to place a mark on people who worship the devil. So if Gematria isn't original to the Hebrew language, and it doesn't come from God, and it's destined to be a tool of the Antichrist, why would we study it? Here at Original Hebrew, we don't. By the end of this video...
Wow. Did you guys catch that? Did everybody catch that? Oh, Gem. Oh, Truth Nugget. Anyways, where are you guys at with all this type of stuff right now? What's your guys' take on all this shit? Like, I could tell you what I think. I'll just roast and make fun of the Gematria hella tough, but where do you guys think we're actually at right now regarding all this? Oh, man. You know what's dope? I'm about to get paid right now. I'm just waiting. Pretty much, I just got out of work and I'm just like waiting to get paid. I mean, that's about it. It's pretty good. Hoping you all are doing well. trying to entertain you guys. I think the fucking Gematria yoga, satanic yoga, is really funny. Dude, I think that shit's goofy as fuck. I think the Alla Gematria is pretty funny. Yeah, that shit's funny.
To Salamatria, a Muslim atria prays 5 times a day. Salah, salah, to keep the cursed shaitan away. And we all bow down to just your each day 5 times a day. Pray to obey. At Fajr Crossing, we awake to pray. Salah, salah, Allah, the perfect way to start each day. Shabbat al-Mulk, Al-Dhuhr, once again we pray. Salah, salah, we eat our lunch then go to pray. At the time we stop and pray. Salah, salah, we put aside our calculator and pray. Up, up, up. When the sun goes down, salah, salah, Allahu Akbar, we place our heads upon the ground. Inshallah, rahmatiyah wa khabar before we go to bed. Salah, salah, we pray then rest our sleepy number
Holy fuck, that shit's hilarious. Holy fuck, that's hilarious.
Muslim prays 5 times a day. Salah, salah, to keep the cursed shaitan away. And we all to Masjid prays each day, 5 times a day.
I feel like this is like
Oh shit, CM's
not
back.
real.
Finally.
People just use that to be little cunts basically, or little fucking like use that as like a passive aggressive like type language. Oh, you're doxing me? That shit ain't real. Because when you agree to terms of service, you agree to the terms of service of the website. And I don't get it either because this is a social media app. Just like every other social media app, you gotta fucking sign in with your name. Like when you put your real name on Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram or TikTok or whatever you do, shit, like how is that not doxing yourself? So according to y'all in this new YouTube panelist fucking StreamYard panelist fucking theories. So yeah. And just like the way people think, I can just tell people are really trying to like gaslight me to death, and I think it's funny really because they really try to get under my skin, and I don't care. Like I'm gonna do me regardless. I'm used to haters, like I said in the title of the last video. My haters make me greater. Where I know I got what's good cuts. I forgot what you said, but. Yeah, but you did something. It wasn't cool. You still my dog though, don't worry. She's still top dog. Yeah, when it comes to
roasted these motherfuckers.
I think on YouTube people are real passive aggressive. And they want to just like, I mean the real life people are too, but I stay away from those kind of people. So I really don't believe doxing exists. Yeah,
I kind of agree.
Waiting on other people's downfall, I think it's fucking hilarious.
They don't even follow through.
Like, he waiting, motherfucker, been waiting forever.
None of their shit's serious. It's not nothing to worry about, you know. Just because they like.
See, that's why you got your wrench stick. I'm just saying that shit ain't. This shit ain't like both. It's two birds or two wings of the same bird. Like all these motherfuckers working together. All this like Republican, Democrat. Like you can worship that shit if you want to. I don't believe in none of that shit. Tell them to send the motherfucking stimulus check. How about that? So when people say shit like that, or all the crime in the Democratic ran cities, which is basically every major city.
I always like seeing him. Even though he sounds kind of funny on certain stuff, he's like keeps it hella real. He keeps it all the way real.
Ain't this Texas the red city? Like, see what I'm saying? They're all work together. So,
dude, hella these cats
Democrat
over
and
too, they try to like.
Yeah, it's a back to main topic. I just think.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of this shit.
Doxing is just a YouTube
all the
StreamYard
fake-ass
panelist.
doxers from Zachary K. Hubbard's Gematria Mighty Network.
And I don't really think people like. I don't really. There's like to me, there's no such thing as doxing. I'm win, lose, or draw.
They're actually doing doxing, but they're like bot motherfuckers.
But one thing you're not gonna do is troll me.
It's not really like scary.
That's why people are getting timed out, wrenches took, and like I see like the little. It don't matter. This shit could be propaganda, Bobby. See, your whole name is propaganda. Your name is Perkins with 2 N's. That's propaganda, just like a Republican and Democrat. Knock it off. So yeah, thank God my phone is fucking charging.
Who's doxing?
It's pissed off. Like I had to buy another damn charger. Like damn, StreamYard just be making these chargers RIP, but. Yeah, it's working out. And I needed to go like just clear my head a little bit too. Yeah, I mean that's true, Bobby. I'll highlight that for you.
Oh, I don't see.
That's true. But no, like one thing. It's like motherfucker, I know you ain't living half the life I live, not even a fourth of it. How you gonna project upon me? Then when you flash back at them, they get mad.
Just about sharing that
bunch
research.
Of shit, what you be saying? Cause some fake Gematriah rat shit, crack.
Yup.
So, yeah, it's just like this shit really don't bother me. Like once you really go to 50 subs, you're all right. That's really all you need. Like all that. Trying to get to 500 and you're doing fucking great now.
I want to call in.
Motherfucker, my channel can get took tonight. And I'll have started doing. How about that?
I want to agree with.
I forgot to put the link. And I know too when people be saying shit like that, it's really kind of like
Yo, what's good, CM?
Shit, I had to go buy another fucking charger.
Dude, you be keeping it all the way real. You're calling him out for like the doxing is fake. I know.
Yeah, it's like you gotta think about it. Beside the terms of service, like you sign
No, I know what you mean. It's like part of the deal, but then like the cats that like are trying to do the doxing are fake as fuck too, because they're like, you're like saying shit, but then it's like, where are you at, pushy?
Yeah, like come get your ass whooped a couple of miles.
Yeah.
Please, like we can live stream it.
Like, unbelievable. Dude, they fucking tried to, like, do the little fake-ass rat doxing against me for hella long, but never pulled up. Like, how are you doxing and saying shit, and then you can't, like, follow through, or, like, what you're saying? I think that does make it fake. It's fake. I mean, for real.
I think your mic's a little bit choppy.
Say what?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's all good. I'm driving right now. I just wanted to call in and say what's up, because what happened to your last stream? It glitched out?
No, my charger, bro.
Oh, shit. I'm live streaming right now. I just did a ridiculous.
What's up, Destiny? No, I'm just telling Troy, like, you know, the case, dude,
They used to troll me more, but they don't troll me as much anymore because I call them out, like, in a crazy kind of way. Anyways, hey, I don't want to take over your stream, and I'm driving and it's late, and I'm kind of like,
No, go ahead. Try to get off.
Yeah, no, I don't know. You know what I want to get off my chest? Why did the fucking quack have, like, doxer bot troll fucking rat motherfuckers in his chat? Dude, he has, like, little troll bot, doxer bots. But it's like the dox bot is like threatening me, and he's like playing a picture. He's like playing a little video clip of his baby while he's threatening me with like rat bots.
Yeah, they be trolling me all the time.
Yeah, no, that shit's hella weird, bro. That shit's some weirdo ass shit. I wouldn't take it. I know it's like infuriating and stupid and annoying, but like I wouldn't take it that serious. They ain't gonna do shit.
No. People like bro, I don't care about that.
Dude, weren't those ones like even on your channel, like over here on your channel? Yeah, I'll hit you back. I'm in the dead zone. I'm driving.
Yeah, your reception is bad. I can tell you up the office. It's really kind of like passive aggressive slick hate, because my last stream, because it was hella trolls. Like, that shit get old, bro.
Yeah,
like,
they were trolling.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, you know what I'm saying? But you know what they say too, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just named the title of the last video, My Haters Make Me Ready. You gotta know how to transmute that negative energy into a positive, but people always want you to be offended because they have a disdain or dislike towards you. Or like they want to project, oh, well, you're always, no, nigga, I'm expressive. I know what to say. Like, when I treat people how they treat me, that's when they get mad. Like, and I love it, like, because I don't value bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I value good people, like people that, you know what I'm saying, like add to shit. Because if people ain't adding to your shit, they taking away. So it's like, even with Moxie, she unsub both her accounts because she mad 'cause I'm telling her she's a fucking feminist, and she is. Just because you married don't mean you're not a feminist. I mean, look at pimps. You know what I'm saying? Like most pimps, pimp hoes, and do all that.
Trying to say shit. They're
that
still
don't mean
trying
they
to
fucking hate women. That's what I'm saying. So people are always try to fucking conflate shit or just think that you done certain shit that you're not. The other thing, especially women. Women are so contradictory, like when it comes to everything. Like, so now, you know what I'm saying? People like even with the main topic with doxing, like that's more so of a woman-like theory to me. And then the way the simps around here, like Stanley's a pure simp. That's why I fucking cussed out his little fucking neighbors and cussed his old ass out. I didn't want to abuse elderly. It's just I went to show and teach him a lesson. Like that's the reason why I wanted it, because I went to show him like there ain't no man intimidate me. I do what I want. You know what I'm saying? I can go any earth is my turf. You know what I'm saying? I turn that shit to CM versus the world. So yeah, it's just people just really starting to try to. And then another thing too, when people like Ricky Z, the fake contrarian, he just be saying shit just because like he want attention. A lot of times people like that'd be their way of getting attention, is just acting like a little brat and shit. Like, so my bad, you ain't get enough love at home during your life, or you ain't got enough home training to where you don't know how to properly engage. Like I said earlier to this dumbass, like it's just like what Ricky Z is doing is the opposite of the yes man. Like he disagrees with absolutely everything. You know what I'm saying? It almost looks like it's just like pure hate.
I'm not trying to troll CM. I couldn't put CM on my stream without like just hitting him up too when he's live.
Yeah, even the shit with
That's how you do it. Like you could just, if you're live and someone's live,
I think it's better that it happened that way. Because
you couldn't go
I don't know where her intentions were, but my intentions definitely weren't to try to get with her or anything, because for various reasons, not just her being unattractive to me. But it's just like I said, like ugliness is just not on the outside, so it starts on the inside.
I agree. I agree with that.
That's what I learned. Like a lot of women that are under attractive, they seem to do the worst shit in attractive chicks. Well, they don't know how to act. They want to be talking over motherfuckers, and that's another thing I want to talk about too. What's the? And I should probably put it in the video, but I was just coming back from the store and shit on the charger. But what's the value of really having women on the panel? Because a lot of them, they're doing like the races like a Period, 777, and like all those little fake wannabe races, or COINTELPRO races, whatever this shit is.
COINTELPRO again.
They're coming on these panels and they're saying shit they would never say in real life.
Agent provocateur.
Which is real feminine, you know what I'm saying? Like, I say all this shit in real life. Worse than this.
Dude, I'll flash on all of you guys. Any one of you guys exactly equally.
That's what I'm saying. So what's the point? Like, that's
even CM.
It's not that I have a different
not that
I
tend to more agree.
You know what I'm saying?
But
I don't really value like exactly what comes out of their mouths. Like, I have to know how to transmute.
What I like about CM is that he calls out all the fucking.
A lot of guys, they don't know how to do that. They say what women say is bonding, or you know what I'm saying? Because they haven't had enough experience around women to really know how to navigate around it. Like I didn't learn all this game overnight. It took time. It took being around different kind of women, different states, different relationships, friendships. Like
the only reason I'm listening to CM right now is because I'm like his mod and he's live.
Another topic too we need to go over is just.
And I do think
how YouTubers, the whole YouTubers is basically turning against feminism, because, or not turning against it, they're all the way going against it as we should, because these women need to be called the fuck out. Yeah, even though Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson could be propaganda, the point is that hot girl summer shit is over. She been passed around by NBA players, NFL players, fucking tennis players, fucking all type of players.
Tennis players.
You know what I'm saying? And then she wondered why Klay is hitting the 3-and-D on her and he's gone. And they're like, oh, Klay is always in different relationships. Yeah, because that's what modern dating is. We live in the hookup culture. So especially a woman like Megan, how could you take a woman like Megan serious when she's rapping about prostituting herself and, you know what I'm saying? Tricking dudes for money, the dudes simping.
Didn't a fucking
You know what I'm saying?
black dude fucking Megan the Stallion Gematria?
So why is she surprised? I've been through that too. Like modern day, a girl cheating on you,
like Megan is too.
And you cheat back.
It's a
and
Jesuit.
you the fucking
It's
bad
probably
guy.
the Jesuit.
But you cheated first. I should have cheated first. I still feel stupid because I cheated first. And you mad because, you know what I'm saying? That's just the culture we live in. It's like, it's been like that.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing new. This might be new to it.
By the end of this video, you'll understand why we call Gematria the devil's math. The association of Hebrew letters with numerical values doesn't come from God, and it doesn't come from the Hebrews. It comes from Greece. In ancient times, the Greeks learned the Hebrew alphabet from Israel's neighbors, the Phoenicians, and they adopted it as their own. They turned the Hebrew Aleph and Beit into the Greek Alpha and Beta. At that time, Israel was a mighty nation with 12 tribes, but hundreds of years later, all that remained of Israel was the much smaller house of Judah, and Judah found themselves under Greek rule. They saw that the Greeks had added numbers to their alphabet and that they were using it for things like coded messages and poetry and magic. Jewish mystics call the system Gematria, after the Greek word geometry. And to this day, Gematria is used by even some Christian teachers to study the Bible. But the practice is not biblical. It's mysticism, and it's a tradition of men. The Bible actually prophesies that Gematria will be in use at the end of days, but it won't be for any good purpose. And here is why we call it the devil's math. Revelation says, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast." That word understanding is actually just mind. And we learn from the scriptures that you can have the mind of Christ or a corrupt mind. The false prophet and his corrupt mind will indeed count the number of the beast's name using Gematria, and he will use this number to place a mark on people who worship the devil. So if Gematria isn't original to the Hebrew language, and it doesn't come from God, and it's destined to be a tool of the Antichrist, why would we study it? Here at Original Hebrew, we don't. By the end of the video, you'll understand why we call Gematria the devil's math. The association of Hebrew letters with numerical values doesn't come from God, and it doesn't come from the Hebrews. It comes from Greece. In ancient times, the Greeks learned the Hebrew alphabet from Israel's neighbors, the Phoenicians, and they adopted it as their own. They turned the Hebrew Aleph and Beit into the Greek Alpha and Beta. At that time, Israel was a mighty nation with 12 tribes, but hundreds of years later, all that remained of Israel was the much smaller house of Judah, and Judah found themselves under Greek rule. They saw that the Greeks had added numbers to their alphabet and that they were using it for things like coded messages and poetry and magic.
Yikes.
Jewish mystics call the system Gematria, after the Greek word geometry. And to this day, Gematria is used by even some Christian teachers to study the Bible. But the practice is not biblical. It's mysticism, and it's a tradition of men.
Yikes.
The Bible actually prophesies that Gematria will be in use at the end of days, but it won't be for any good purpose. And here's why we call it the devil's math. Revelation says, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast." That word understanding is actually just mind. And we learn from the scriptures that you can have the mind of Christ or a corrupt mind. The false prophet and his corrupt mind will indeed count the number of the beast's name using Gematria, and he will use this number to place a mark on people who worship the devil. So if Gematria isn't original to the Hebrew language, and it doesn't come from God, and it's destined to be a tool of the Antichrist, why would we study it? Here at Original Hebrew, we don't.
New to it, so. Or people that don't understand women or understand complex. That's that boomer. That's that empty boomer, empty elder shit. And a lot of boomers, they have that fucking problem where they can't really just pass the torch to either Gen X or the millennials. So it's like I was saying on the last show, like I was watching the shit where they say a lot of, I think I told my mom this shit before, like, I'm older than you, like, mentally. Like, mentally, you're like a 12-year-old, and that's how a lot of boomers are, for whatever reason. Maybe because, I don't know, because, you know, they say that the boomers, too, they're the first undiagnosed autistic kids. And I believe it. Just for how quick they are, because boomers, I think they're the most emotional generation, too. Out of any generation, they are emotional. And I can't say it's because they old, because even, I remember my mom and dad when they was in their 40s and 50s, and they were still emotional. So I don't know what happened with that generation. Oh yeah, I seen something the other day too. It said that they call us soft, but they was the one asking white people to integrate, and that's true. The thing about the '80s, and you know what I'm saying, versus now, the '80s was super gay, super fucking metrosexual. So yeah, so I think it's a lot of projecting. It's a lot that maybe these boomers they're scared to die. Like maybe like I'm not calling Big Dog a boomer, but he even said earlier this when he was younger. You know, I'm only 36, so I'm not up there in age yet. But I guess, but I definitely don't want to be in my 20s, especially because I feel like my 30s is definitely way better than my 20s. I'd rather have the experience and the wisdom.
Oh, come on.
Over
You
the
guys
youth
don't like
and just, you know what
CM.
I'm saying? You can always
I don't want to play
take, oh no,
I'm not going
because
to
people
play
got
that
different
whole
genetics
shit
too.
again. I'm going to fucking turn off my shit.
So I don't really have no pains or ailments yet. I'm still doing shit that I was doing 12, 13 years ago. And I have no type of, I was so gay. Yeah, I had to go buy another fucking charger, you know, stream all these damn chargers. But that bitch is on his last legs now, but this seems like a pretty good charger I bought. It's actually fucking charging. My phone had fucking died on like 2-3%, bro. I was like, damn, man, that bitch is
I'm going to
hot.
slide up out of here since Gematria can't hang with us.
Because it always seems to do that shit whenever my battery be low.
And I'm where I'm going anyway, so
that's probably what happens. Like,
you guys have a beautiful, blessed rest of your evening.
Yada.
I appreciate you guys learning and listening and having understanding and learning from the Thelema from Toronto video and the short video clip with the
oh yeah, for shit show. Yeah, it was a bunch of trolls in here last, you know what I'm saying, trying to get on the panel. A bunch of trolls in the chat. Moxie unsubscribed. Fucking these people are just full of drama, bro.
Holy
I don't even care.
Moxie unsubscribed? Jesus Christ.
And it's just because a lot of these people, they don't bring anything. It's like, not that I want to sit there and charge it, but it's like a lot of the times, like, it'll be better if I just go on this.
The underlying basic principle and fundamentals of my channel is that Gematria is Hebrew. And a lot of you guys seem to forget that.
Go over to these other panels like Gospel, Gay Bobs,
and if you can't rock with that, then
and they let them on to troll, and they feel like they're welcome everywhere. Like,
so whatever you say, quack.
You fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you already know. Shit, you already know. So I always see through. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, keep rising to the top. We rise to the top because we keep it all the way fucking real.
You know what I'm saying? People don't like, they're not adding to it, bro. Like, so that's what I say. Everybody can leave. I don't care if it's 40 or 4 people in here. Like, that don't mean that doesn't necessarily.
Your
mean
numbers doesn't mean anything.
Just because it's a lot of people who are
actually, when you tell the truth, the numbers go down.
Because they don't like it. Like, them trolls throw a nigga off topic.
These quack motherfuckers don't like it when you tell
or they'll
the
fucking
truth.
just derail it to their little narcissistic bullshit. I don't want to hear that shit.
That's why I like CM. He keeps it all the way real. He's like calling them out in his chat.
Make that shit go right. I know how to fucking monologue. And that's another thing too. and people can make a video about this.
CM's
shit.
not like,
These
I like
content
CM, but
creators,
he's
like,
not right
allegedly,
about everything, but he keeps
they
it hella
depend way
real.
too
He's
much
like,
on their parents,
he,
way too fucking much.
he can
Why can't you
tell
go
when
on
they're
here
trolling him in the
fucking
chat.
do the shit yourself? You know what I'm saying? Really fucking have the like we want to get to know you too, like, because that shit I feel like that really takes away when, like, even subconsciously, like they'll take away from a program, and that's anything.
Dude,
like,
it's crazy. Dude,
the
I hope.
Batman
I don't
Robin
think
first.
you guys even comprehend the
Robin was
level of
never the
like
main thing
rat
on the
garbage we're
episode.
trying to express. That,
Except
like,
for when he
explain
found
the quacks
for a
do.
reason. I don't think that's false advertisement, and subconsciously you're not going to gravitate towards that. Like, damn, why does they show all about Robin? They might as well call it shit the Robin and Batman adventure. And people seem to forget that, especially with something like that. With these YouTube panels, they don't seem to fucking understand, like, that, hey, maybe I should really talk on my own show. Maybe this person is really not adding to my show. Like, I got a panel full of motherfuckers that are just ridiculous. Like, and I think they, I don't know if they get that shit from CT or if it's laziness. Most of the time when I'm letting people talk a lot of my shit, either I'm doing something or my fucking phone charger's breaking and I'm trying to charge it, or I'm cooking dinner or taking a shower. Just, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing some real life shit. But usually I come back and I set the tone. I try to.
I wasn't trying to go to CM's channel just to like push all the
maybe the main topic because
propaganda on them or nothing.
That's
like,
what a fucking broadcast.
I'm literally just like acknowledging him because he's like pretty legit and he's calling out like the freaking trolls.
Another one of these fake projectors and haters love to do is think you upset of they trolling. No, I don't care. It's just a nigga don't feel like seeing that shit all the time when he's trying to run a program. You gotta do that shit somewhere else. That's why I'm glad my charger broke. Because there was too many fucking trolls and it's like I want to hit the better part of the algorithm. The better part of YouTube, like, they're like, oh, you're fucking up. Like, no, I'm not fucking up. Not having weirdos on my shit that are super TOS. That's a kiss ass. Y'all shouldn't even like that. I fuck with who I fuck with. If you knew, we'll get to know what's in the chat for a little bit.
Dude, that's hella real talk. What he's saying. That's hella real.
Fucking troll.
Dude, these motherfuckers are super TOS. That's ridiculous.
I don't do that shit, bro.
I agree with what he's saying.
At Judas when I see one. So it's like people are always so ready to celebrate somebody else's failure, especially I hate to bring it back to race, especially the black man. They love to try to fucking throw down the black man or just tear down the black man, especially in America. And that shit getting old because we all have integrity and morals. I don't care what your ethnicity is, but whatever you're constantly tearing down a certain race of people and the whole world's doing it, I think that shit's fucked up to the fifth power type shit. So, yeah, I'm definitely glad that I'm back. Fucking, God don't like ugly. My StreamYard hours reset the very next day. So, you know what I'm saying? I get to do what I love to do, I guess, and come out here and talk to y'all and just vent, smoke, chill, relax. I wasn't even going to stream tonight, but I just didn't want to.
Anyways, I'm going to slide. I'm going to get up off of here. I got to go to the.
And if I'm able to do it, why not?
Run up in here real quick.
I'm well rested. I got to rest the past couple days.
Peace and love, you guys.
So I'm not tired, so I'm just able to talk. So.